Absolutely. Don't even think about it. Ridiculous. Okay?
Try to stay and go with Tommy.
Oh yeah, jump over there and see can you hear me on the other headset. You're getting dinner lol.
1, 2. Well, we won't be able with the thing, I don't think.
Go on, I can hear
1, 2. I can't really hear you.
you. Come on. Go now.
1, 2, 1, 2. You can hear me, can you? I can't really
No.
hear you. You can't?
No. Hold on, go again.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2.
No.
That's good, Luke. They heard me a minute ago. Jesus. Oh, yeah, we're not
That's
hearing each
moving,
other.
but that isn't.
1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Can you hear me?
No.
That's the link between the box and the Ballysteen, that's all that is.
Yeah.
Have we an input going in there?
Yeah. But he heard me a minute ago through it. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Take down mix. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear myself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Who's on first?
Huh? 1 second.
No.
It's really fantastic. Disinfectants.
John Ash's, you're like John Ash's or Padawan learner or whatever. You're a master.
No.
Luke, you could have done the game after all that.
I know. Her phone's dead, so after run out, she's outside.
Mind yourself.
I'll stay.
Live radio,
Yeah.
that happened to us in the La Défense Arena in Paris.
Yeah.
Last second, fucking a red line across 4 desks, trying to speak French. Fucking see that's gold. I can't. I'll have to fucking lean right into the corner of it. It's a pain in the arse, isn't it?
Do you want to take this part?
No, it's just my height.
Yeah.
I'll be up like that. It's fine. We'll touch base on it either at the start, depending on when we go on, or afterwards about. It's just the mentality around semi-finals.
Sure.
You know, do you go out, do you attack it? Do you go fucking stay in the game?
The ladies' semi-final is on at the moment as well, or the ladies' intermediate final.
Shout in any.
I can give you a shout on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be good for
Who's in that?
True Broadford and Mungret in the intermediate, and it's going to be Denny Neville out injured. Wow. Jerome's have to get in teams there. I wonder if this changes. Will we call him in?
2 changes. So Bill O'Mara in for John O'Shaughnessy. And Matt O'Mara 18 in for Danny. Danny's gone these hands. That's a big
Matt
one.
O'Mara, is it?
Matt O'Mara, yeah. He'll be playing out the field, he won't be in the corner. Stephen Walsh. Ballylanders. White. Black.
Danny looks like he will be involved there. He was kicking ball there beforehand. I'm sure they're holding on to him for.
I would think so,
Yeah.
He was definitely out there kicking the ball in here, whether he's hand is sore or not.
Yeah. So David Clifford's goal. Did you see David Clifford's goal?
I did. Incredible.
Awesome. But you didn't try it.
Yeah. Just, I think the beauty of the strike there.
And he didn't even have to take on his man.
The goalkeeper's like, oh, Jesus,
yeah, but it was the way it worked is because it was so unexpected.
You'd never be expected to be beaten in the far side of the left corner when he's out there.
No. A lot of fellas took a point there. They'd get serious credit for it, like, you know.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Straight,
Number 1, you're out in front.
Yeah.
2, it's over the shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, job
That's
done.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and then he does that.
Yeah.
That's why he's the best.
Absolutely.
Oh. Would you like a mint?
No, thank you.
Ballylanders were the favourites. No hand injury here. Oh, here we go. Good afternoon, welcome to Newcastle West. It's Ballylanders versus Ballysteen. Irish Wire Products Senior Football Championship semi-final. Donald Sullivan here on commentary, joining me in our commentary box. Socially distant behind Perk Specs Class. Lovely day for it too. It's Tommy Stack. Tommy, this could be a good one.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Two very evenly matched teams, and the last 3 or 4 years have had some very close encounters between the two teams as well. So hoping for a cracker here today.
Yeah, already changes, not only in the jerseys, because about, of course, the clash of the famous green and gold, I should say. We have Ballylanders away to our left at the moment here, Tommy, warming up in white. Ballysteen away to our right, warming up in black. But the interesting thing, straight away, team news there. Let's go through the Ballysteen team. We've Conor Ranaghan goals, Jason Daly, Kevin McMahon and Bill Casey, with Killian Ferris, Patrick Moore and Alan McGrath. And in midfield we have James O'Mara and Jamie O'Sullivan. So as you were there to what was announced during the week. Now, Shane Hallahan, Dara Ranaghan, and then we have Bill O'Mara replacing John O'Shaughnessy in the half-forward line. We've Mark Ranaghan, Shane Gallagher, and the big news reaching us just now, Matt O'Mara in for the injured Danny Neville. Huge blow. Huge blow.
Danny brings so much heat, as in the other team have to put heat on Danny Neville all the time, so he takes an extra man away, making the defensive aspect so much difficult for the other team. They just have to cover 2 on Danny, and they have to disperse the numbers elsewhere as well. But I see from their scoring throughout this year that they haven't relied solely on Danny Neville. So from a scoring point of view, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. You know, the 2 Ranaghan boys, James O'Mara, they've all popped up with scores, and looking at their last 2 matches, they've had 12 different scorers. So from the scoring point of view, maybe Danny won't be so much of a loss, but I think just his work rate and his experience throughout the field will be definitely a loss.
Yeah, it is a big loss, as we say, getting to this late stage of the season. It is the final 4. Second semi-final will come up later on between Adair and Galway. Mal Keaveney on commentary alongside Tommy. Tommy's going to dash across the county after this match is over. Ballylanders team news, as you were with the programme during the week. So we've Declan O'Connor in goals, we've Pat Houlihan, Stephen Walsh, Donald Kelly in that full back line, with Stephen Fox, Sean Maloney and Killian Meade in front of them. Owen O'Mahony alongside Vice Captain Mark O'Connell in midfield, with Brian O'Connell, Kieran Kelly and David McCarthy on the 40. Captain James Barry Murphy just running back towards the team huddle away to our left, alongside Owen Walsh and Danny Fruin in the full forward line. So, Ballylanders, the favourites coming into this one. Tommy, a lot of firepower there. A lot of scores throughout the club championship so far being distributed between players. Worthy favourites to this one?
I'm not so sure. I think it's really, really even, and I just have this feeling about Ballysteen this year. I think they really have their house in order, and even though things didn't go smoothly for them in the group stages, let's say, they definitely were better than Drumbraw for first. They were very, very unlucky not to get the win. and by all accounts against Newcastle West as well, they had a nice performance as well. And they often say losses can teach you more than wins. So both teams have had losses in the championship so far, and they've both come back stronger in the quarterfinals. I do think you're right about Ballylanders. Very, very interesting forward line. I'm sure Brian O'Connell and David McCarthy would probably spend most of their time going between the 245s. But the attacking power at 11, 13, 14 and 15 is without doubt, it's enviable for any club in the county.
Talk to me then, Tommy. You've played enough semi-finals down through the years. We want to touch on it here. It's been a weird season, obviously 2020 truncated, short little group stages out into the quarterfinals, and we saw teams play Wednesday and having to play again today. But what's the mindset? Semi-finals, not the one you want to lose. You don't get the big day out in county final day. You don't get the LT, you get at grounds. Like, do you go out and attack it? Do you build on what's gotten you here? Do you change things? Some fellas might freeze. It could be the biggest day for a lot of these guys.
Well, what you don't want to find is yourself well behind after 10 or 15 minutes, even 3 or 4 scores behind. So I think at the start both teams are going to keep it very tight at the back. That's, I suppose that goes without saying, because that's what teams want to do anyway. It's been very noticeable that Ballysteen have been very quick starters. They've always tended to get good starts, and that gives a huge, I suppose, psychological. There's definitely a psychological aspect to that as well. But I think both teams would want to keep it really tight at the back, pop their scores when they get their chances as well. I don't see both teams committing too many guys to staying forward up the field when the team is defending. So I'd imagine we might only see 2 or 3 in the forward lines while they're our team defending as well. So I hope we get a nice free-flowing game. I hope both teams really get the chance to express themselves. The conditions are phenomenal here today. The pitch looks great. Nice temperatures, just a little bit overcast. I think it's an ideal day for playing football. Not that much of a breeze out there as well, so all good.
Yeah, not too hot either, as you say. It's a nice bit of cloud covering behind us. Looking down as both teams make their way towards the middle. John O'Halloran, the man in black. 1 o'clock throw-in time here, so just coming up on a minute on that. As mentioned already, Adair v Galway in the second semi-final coming up later on this evening from Kilmallock. Coverage, as always, on Live 95 is brought to you by Limerick Motor Centre. And Ballylanders will play from left to right as we look at it. So those unfamiliar with Newcastle West, we're out in the commentary box on the far side of the field. From the entrance you would come in, away to our right is a gorgeous plastic pitch facility. So left to right as we look at it is Ballylanders playing from left to right, and on our right hand side we've Conor Rannan in the Ballysteen goal, who has a football in his hands, but he's not going to start the game by kicking it out. The referee's going to throw the ball in, and already we can see a little couple of changes around midfield. We only have one man in there at the moment for Ballysteen.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem if it stays like that, I'm pretty sure. They're just taking their time. Very interesting to see what role Shane Gallagher is going to play with Danny Neville being gone. I mean, he's got a great amount of experience in him. And he tends to be very influential in games like this. He's gone right into the full forward line. I'd imagine we'll see him coming out the field, linking the play, making it very, very difficult for opposition as well.
Little fist bump with his friend Stephen Walsh down the way.
I like it.
One to keep an eye on for two men that, of course, have worn the green over the years. 8 versus 9 and 9 versus 8 in midfield. So we're gone traditional. That's Owen O'Mahony, Mark O'Connell, James O'Mara and Jamie O'Sullivan. The referee has his hand on his wrist, as I mentioned. That's John O'Halloran. And we are seconds away here from the first Senior Football Championship semi-final of the season, as Ballylanders and Ballysteen both, as Tommy mentioned, looking to get a good start here. So the ball currently in the hands of James O'Mara. Under pressure there, of course, from Owen O'Mahony. And first free of the afternoon. Interesting to see what both teams do in this transition period. Patrick Moore now wearing the black and red for Ballysteen this evening. Both sides, of course, normally in their green and gold. And on the far side of the field there, Brian O'Connell moves it in towards Kieran Kelly. The first attack maybe of this game for Ballylanders. Down into the corner. Barry Murphy on his way out. Beaten to it outside there on the far side. Good win in the air by Alan McGrath. McGrath wearing number 7. Seems to got right in the corner back. But interesting, straight direct ball into the forward line, not building it up too much time.
No, I thought he was looking for maybe a mark inside as well. The ball was played a little bit high and the bounce caught Jimmy Barry inside. Both teams just a little bit nervy at the start. Those two decisions made by either team, Packy from centre back there and the ball into the full forward line for Ballylanders weren't fantastic. So hopefully both teams can clean it up a little bit.
There's Shane Gallagher wearing number 14, but way out the field and towards James O'Mara, carrying this forward for Ballysteen. Tries to take on his man, which of course is Mark O'Connell. First free of the afternoon within kicking distance, and interesting to see from free takers here with no puff of wind. If anything, the wind may be slightly favouring Ballysteen, but it's interesting there. Shane Gallagher out the field, winning a ball, playing it in, forcing the free. Now we have the first free.
As expected, and Mark is a great free taker. But just interesting there, you know James O'Mara. He's a great player. Played many years with Limerick as well. He's got good individual skills, and he was able to just dummy his way around his opposition marker there and create a free for himself. We talk about individual brilliance. If anybody hasn't checked out David Clifford's goal last night for East Kerry, let's hope we see plenty of that individual brilliance here.
Yeah, It should be a high-scoring game here this afternoon. Mark Ranahan striking this one off the deck, which is always great to see, and it has gone straight over the bar. So just 2 minutes into the game, first score of the afternoon, Ballysteen in front.
Yeah, maybe not his best strike, but definitely good to get the first one over. Settle the nerves for himself, and even for Ballylanders now, or Ballysteen straight away. They look to have gone into a sort of a zonal press when it comes to kick-out.
Interesting to see. There's no pictures later on with the what the point looked like. It's over, white flag goes up, and away we go. So Stephen Fox this time for Ballylanders, back towards centre half back now out to midfield with Mark O'Connell. O'Connell, giant of a man is Mark O'Connell, trying to get this ball forward again, looking for Kieran Kelly. Slow build up again from Ballylanders, not as direct as maybe the first ball in there. Back to Maloney. Maloney goes across field again towards Killian Mead, just on the halfway line now, as they look to respond to that opening score of the game. 1 point to no score, and they can't pass there to no one. They're winning the tackle is excellent from Ballylanders. Down this near side, Owen Walsh. Hand pass back inside, just moving the ball around this middle 40. Good pressure coming onto the fence once they come anywhere near the Ballysteen territory, now into the hands of Donald Kelly. God be the days when numbers on the back of jerseys meant anything, Tommy. Everyone out there all touching and involved in the game. Now the far side of the field is Danny Fruin. We remember Danny because he's wearing absolutely illuminous boots on that far side as this one goes in. First wide leaving for Ballylanders. With Danny Fruin, great boots, so we'll be able to pick him out. But again, the slow build-up that we're used to seeing all season with Ballylanders not coming to fruition there.
Yeah, look, they had a genuinely good opportunity there. It was O'Mahony, great midfielder, very good, very good player. I'm kind of surprised he's playing midfield, to be honest, because he doesn't necessarily have great height, but he does have a lot of mobility around there, and I'm sure he'll use that well today. But that was not a good shot that he took, or it wasn't a good strike at least anyway. The breaks underneath the kick out, just first break has been won by Ballysteen or Ballylanders, and that's going to be very, very interesting all day.
Yeah, battle of the Ballys out there. Corner back again. Donald Kelly operating way out the field, in midfield. These kickouts are going to be crucial. Primary position. We're back in towards Brian O'Connell. O'Connell tries to kick this one in. He's looking for Jimmy Barry Murphy on the far corner, which James has it. James off his left boot. Cool as you like, normally from that distance, with a second wide for him.
Pretty audacious.
Yeah, I was about to say it out in front of his man. You were talking about David Clifford, but I think too much on that one from James.
Yeah, he might have watched him last night. Maybe it wasn't exactly the same thing. He was in front of the two-man C. Shane Gallagher's right in front of the full back line, wearing 14. Not unusual, like you say, but it's good to see, and he winning the kick out here as well, although they had turned it over.
Yeah, James. Barry Murphy so far this season 1-4 in this championship now with Kieran Kelly on the ball an awful lot. Back out towards Murphy once more. Murphy now with a attempt at a point 2 minutes ago. Fruin is in the corner giving him a shout if he wants him. Breaks down this time towards David McCarthy, but turned over inside by Killian Ferris. Now towards midfield it's James O'Mara moving forward. Good footballer as Tommy Stack says, but he's dispossessed, and once more it's the midfielder Owen O'Mahony back to his fellow midfield partner Mark O'Connell, who's playing a little bit behind, his hair flowing in the wind there as he makes his way up the field. Out this near side once more towards Walsh. Walsh has the short hand pass off if he wants it to Killian Mead. Mead turns back inside under pressure from the defenders. There's a hand pass option in to the corner if they want it for Ballylanders. Back out it's Donald Kelly wearing number 4, as far away from the number 4 position as he can be, and back out towards Owen Walsh, and they press the reset button and away we go once more time.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Ballysteen are only holding 2 lads up in their forward line as well while this is happening, so we have a huge glut of players in the attacking unit at the moment.
Yeah, Owen O'Mahony, one of those over on the far side there in the stand side of Newcastle West, beats his man on the way out, tries to beat him on the way back, goes a high kick up into the air. Murphy's underneath it, going to try and go up and punch it clear. He ends up on top of the ball, the first kind of half shamazel, and then he touches it on the ground. Referee says a free out. And from a Ballysteen point of view, 1 point in front, and they're comfortable.
Yeah, even though they're not looking after the ball on the way out, they definitely have an element of control over Ballylanders' play at this stage. Like I said, they're going to find themselves under the caution awful lot as they continue to concede the ball in areas where they're taking the ball. Just another overcarrying charge there against one of the Ballysteen guys. They're not looking after the ball well on the way out. How many balls have they kicked into the forward line already? How many times have they actually looked up to get the ball inside there? You know, I think they're quite keen on just travel, get the ball as far as they can up the field and maybe see it from there. I think they're going to have to change that game plan.
Quick ball by Danny Fruin there, but only picked up by Gallagher wearing number 14, but right down in front of his goalkeeper, manages to hand pass it to him and do a 1-2 and get it back. Centre half back now this time. Patrick Moore takes his time coming out. Good footballer Moore, comfortable on the ball. Now goes back with the hand pass towards Killian Ferris. And again, the slow build up out that far side. Bill Casey dispossessed in the last one. Number 23 is Bill O'Mara. He's one of the two changes on the Ballysteen team. Takes on his man, goes past him. Now towards the 40, kicks into the corner. Trying to find some space in there is Mark Ranahan, the first and only scorer of the game so far, as we're 7 minutes in here in Newcastle West. Defended brilliantly back there by Ballylanders. A chance for them to clear. Referee says under pressure too. So free out taken into the hands of the goalkeeper Declan O'Connor, now into the hands of Mark O'Connell. O'Connell, very much the deep lying of the two midfielders. He gets the dirty job. He's got to pick up all that ball and turn it into attacking play through Kieran Kelly, now down towards Owen Walsh, out in front of his man is Walsh, and the hand pass back brilliantly towards David McCarthy. Referee saw the free too, and a chance maybe for Ballylanders to level things up if they don't go quick.
Yeah, it's nice to see the referees not just looking after the ball itself, but looking ahead of the play to see if there's pulling and dragging going on. It's often gotten away with, and I'd just like to see the referee had his heads up to that.
Yeah, Killian Mead goes into a corridor of three Ballysteen men, wins the free, so making their way up the field through frees, and Mark O'Connell has his hand out. He's leaving it there for someone to kick. That's going to be Owen O'Mahony. And off the deck, he might fancy himself with this one. I'm just looking below us here, Tommy. That midfield flag definitely blowing in favour of Ballysteen in this first half, so this will be a big boot if this one goes over. Good strike off the left boot, but again another wide, so I'll make that 3 I think now for Ballylanders. That's 3 attempts at goal that have gone there for you.
And the wind definitely had an impact on that one, and maybe we didn't see it, but the wind has picked up in the last 5 minutes. Any ball that's being kicked past by Ballylanders into their forward line, there's definitely been a tail in it, so I would say you probably have to look at maybe getting a lead going in at half time. And at the moment, if you look at the possession stakes, Ballylanders certainly have had more possession. They haven't used it as well as they would like, but they have had more possession, and that's definitely an issue for concern for Ballysteen.
Yeah, Ballysteen 1964 all the way back then, their first and only final, and they're looking to get back into one. They have a 100% record in them, so they'll take that if they can get in again against Ballylanders, of course, champions as recently as 2014 and losing finalists in 2018. But on the attack for Ballysteen is Darryl Ranahan, takes it past his man once more, has the hand pass inside he wants towards Mark Ranahan. Referee says he passed it off while he was on the ground. One of those things, he was on the way down and he just managed to, or tried to correct his error, but it's a free out and a free to Ballylanders. So Ballylanders coming into this, and as you mentioned, Tommy, they were the favourites, but very even contest. 9 minutes gone, just one score on the board.
Yeah, and a lovely ball there from Packy into to Ranahan and centre forward. He actually turned his man beautifully, but slipped, and that was very unfortunate, really. Keeper looks like he's going to start the ball right here from the back again from an unsuccessful shot from Ballylanders.
Yeah, Conor Ranahan finds Jamie O'Sullivan in a world of space. He manages to knock it down in front of him, picks it away, come Ballysteen. Now, Tommy Stack is looking for him to mind the ball as they come out, which they're doing through Killian Ferris. And away over on the far side now is Darryl Ranahan. Kicked over the far side. Oh, brilliant ball in front of Bill Casey. All the way up wearing number 4. Takes on his opposite number 4, Donald Kelly. Wins the free. And the way things are going at the moment, you'll take any free like that. And moved in too, so an opportunity for Ballysteen to extend their lead.
Yeah, there might have been tougher challenges, maybe more that might have deserved a free, but you know, I love the move by Ballysteen in that case. They attacked out of defence very, very quickly, and what we had was a man breaking the line. I think it was O'Mara broke the line very, very well, and he found himself beyond, we'll say, the defensive line around the 45. The ball was popped over to the top, and this should be a score, second score for Ballysteen.
Yeah, we were 2 minutes in, and Ballysteen had their first score on the board. The scoreboard away to our left hand side, and now he has a chance, Mark Ranahan, to knock over his second. Off the ground once more. We might call it old school, but it's certainly effective. The umpire makes his way towards the flag. 10 minutes gone on the clock. Mark Ranahan with the second score of the day. 2 points, no score. Ballysteen in front.
You cannot underestimate a good free taker. Like, how many times have we had free takers? We've all had them in our clubs, our counties, on the way up as well. You can't put a price on it, to be honest.
Yeah, 10 points in the championship now for that man. Goes towards midfield. Brilliant take there by Owen O'Mahony, the mark. So he has plenty of time to kick this one in towards Owen Walsh. Walsh again out in front of his man, and the hand pass back out towards the free taker, or the mark taker, which is O'Mahony with that over the top ball. Didn't work out, and now it's the slow build up once more from Ballysteen. Patrick Moore out the far side of the field, taking his time, is Bill O'Mara. O'Mara breaking the line was the secret the last time, as everyone works their way back now towards Darryl Ranahan. Takes on his man, turns one way on the edge of the 40, now going across field. Had the hand pass as one option, goes for the second, and into the hands once more in midfield here. Unfortunately, going to be turned over by Niall O'Mara, and then once more it's Ballylanders that come away with it through Owen Walsh. Walsh again has to turn around. There's absolutely no room out there. The midfield is crowded out. As up for this high one goes Danny Froome, beaten to it but into the hands surely now of Brian O'Connell. O'Connell right on the sideline here, throws the hand out trying to free himself, and his marker wins the free too. A bit of tempo to it, but Ballylanders, for all their possession, they're struggling to break down the Ballysteen defence, and Ballysteen on the other side slow to move the ball up.
And we see Ballysteen once again, they're keeping those two guys up, which means they have 12 behind the ball, plus their keeper as well. I must refer to Owen Walsh, full forward for Ballylanders, constantly out in front of his man. It's very rarely you see him getting beaten to the ball, and that's such an admirable quality. The only disappointing part about it is he tends to be winning the ball beyond the 45-yard line, even though he's wearing the number 14.
He is, as Donald Kelly has this one back out towards Owen O'Mahony for Ballylanders. Again, the slow build-up from the favourites this afternoon. Stephen Fox now looking one way, then another, finds Killian Meade trying to make it through one line of attack, and he's done it. Gone through three men, heads towards the edge of the D, has to hand pass this one over the top towards Kieran Kelly. Kieran Kelly all the way through, hand pass over the crossbar. It is first score of the afternoon for Ballylanders. It comes after 13 minutes, and it is great score, well worked.
Quality score. Killian Meade, took a chance. He rounded one man, he took off with pace down the wing, or down to the centre, managed to pop the ball out. And a lovely fisted point there by the centre forward, Kieran Kelly. They'll be delighted with that now. I mean, the first score is always important, and especially when it's maybe well into the first half. But that is a good start for them there now.
Good to see you too, Tommy. We were talking about just needs one person to make the break in the line. He took his man on, he went through and it did create space.
Absolutely, yeah. And players like that, maybe players that mightn't be marquee players, they're the ones that'll find the space as well, because you'll pick up the inter-county players, the lads that have the names, but you mightn't necessarily pick up the lads that don't have those names.
It's true with Donald Kelly, who's been everywhere. I think there's two Donald Kellys out there. We have one at the moment out this far side towards Killian Meade, who was the man that made the breakthrough that led to that first score for Ballylanders. 14 minutes in, so nearly halfway through this first half, and the ball at the feet of Sean Maloney. Again into the hands of Owen Walsh in front of his man, working his way. Again, though, he's outside the 40, goes short across midfield into O'Mahony, hand pass back out towards Meade once more, and it's Meade who's looking again. He was going to drop the right shoulder there and move on, but he doesn't. Gives it in towards David McCarthy, into the corner towards Danny Froome. Froome making his way away from goal on the far side of the field, heading out towards the stand side, goes for the up over the top of the ball strike there. Cornerback is on the far side telling him he didn't fancy it either, but one of those weird ones, it either curls over the black spot perfectly or it ends up like it did, left and right.
Yeah, it's probably about a 15% shot, if the truth is told, the outside of the boot from the wrong wing as well. So if that's the best shot that they can account for, I'd say great, but I think they can do much, much better. They've got to show more patience as well. Yeah,
Kevin McMahon now on the ball for Ballysteen as the sun comes in through the Perspex window in front of myself and Tommy Stack here. Coverage as always on Live 95, brought to you by Limerick Motor Centre. Under pressure right down in front of us here is Matt O'Mara, and it's Ballysteen who are trying to get this one out through Alan McCarthy. Now hand passing pockets around the edge of the pitch in front of the commentary box here, back towards Shane Gallagher further up the field now the last couple of minutes in towards Darragh Ranahan likes to use the boot to play the ball in, but takes on two men. That's the referee playing advantage in the free there too for Darragh Ranahan, and he looks the most likely of the half forward line so far for breaking through.
He has a lovely balance as he travels with the ball. He's always looking to turn on a shoulder or the head is up all the time. It's interesting that number 10 Shane Hallen seems to be spending most of the time the full forward for Ballysteen, and it has varied from time to time who's been spending their time in the full forward line. But another decent opportunity here now. This is going to need a better strike than his two previous strikes. I feel like he hasn't struck them as crisply as he's needed to, and the wind will take this. It looks like it might be travelling down to the left corner here as we're looking at it. Another important strike. 3-1 would be, I think they'd be very pleased given how the game has transpired so far.
He struck it well, has Mark Ranahan. Has it crept in? It has crept in right over the black spot. Cracking score is right. 3 for Mark Ranahan, 3 for Ballysteen. They're 3-1 in front.
And he's been the man who's given the 3 scores as well. So we're at the water break at the moment, and it's been 3 scores from himself. I mean, at the moment, Ballylanders have the possession, Ballysteen have the scores, and Ballysteen will come in now and they'll probably be patting themselves on the back, but they can't be happy with how they've used the ball by and large, and an awful lot of the frees have come from ill discipline as well. Obviously, if they come from frees, I think Ballylanders need to have a look at themselves again and maybe need to get Jimmy Barry further out the field. He's a player that definitely makes them tick, and I think Shane Gallagher's doing a great job back in front of him there. He's double teaming, he's making life difficult to play ball, and he's looking at the channels as well. So a lot of work to be done here, and it's very interesting as well how much water's been taken on at the breaks. Is it more of a tactical break? What do you think?
we spoke about this, I think, the last time we covered St. Kieran's and Galway and Kilmallock, that it's an ideal opportunity, particularly for the teams that are behind, just to fix a few bits. A couple of lads there not taking on any water. I must say, for those listening in, Ballysteen have won the Battle of the Tables, the preparation for the water break. They've a tablecloth and everything up there. It looks like the spread of the lovely wedding there.
Christmas dinner, it looks like to me. Christmas dinner.
Ballysteen, but we did speak about this before, Tommy. Like, it's 3 points to 1. The game plan, everyone has a game plan. They get punched in the face, Mike Tyson. But what will down in front of us here? What will Ballylanders be saying? 3 points to 1 down against the wind. They've all the possession, but they're being punished for, I suppose, indiscipline.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, when you look at their setup when they're outside or when they're attacking, they're holding Fruin and Jimmy Barry in the full forward line. Their full forward line, Owen Walsh is definitely pulling a bit further out, but there's not that much dynamic in the whole process. Those two boys are staying deep inside, whereas the rest of the lads are very kind of stationary. There needs to be runs off the shoulder, there needs to be second runners. They need to vary who's inside in the full forward line as well, because I think Fruin and Jimmy Barry Murphy can be very good to play that inside ball as well. And I think they're just making it a little easier for Ballylanders. Ballylanders or Ballysteen, like Shane Gallagher's job is easy. He's not having to move a whole pile from that D area. They need to create runs. They need to create a dynamic where they'll get him out of that area, and they can maybe travel down the middle or play some nice balls into the full forward line as well.
Well, more water taken on here in the commentary box done by some fellas down there, and that's why they're out there and I'm in here. So the restart of this match is going to come through Declan O'Connor in the Ballylanders goal, wearing all white jersey, I say, with green shorts. Ballylanders and Ballysteen, the changed black shorts, black jersey with a red trim.
Nice kit.
Just about to say, Tommy, we love talking about good kit, and I must say, a white number on a black jersey is a godsend for us commentators here. Don't want any of that yellow nonsense on the back of a black jersey. But away we go, 13 minutes left in this first half. So referee is given a free, and it's Ballylanders looking to move here through Killian Mead. Killian Mead takes on Shane Gallagher, turns one way, turns another into the corner towards James Barry Murphy, has it in his hand, takes on his man, has a chance to go through here. Looked like he was pulled back, shot this time from him. Murphy, has it gone over? It has. Great start after the water break for Ballylanders. 3 points to 2 Ballysteen lead, and now 12 minutes to half time.
Best man I think on the field so far, Killian Mead. I haven't come across him a whole while so far, but he's attacking the line. He doesn't look like the biggest guy, but he certainly played a magnificent ball there to Jimmy Barry Murphy, who sold the dummy, came back and he's right and kicked a lovely score as well. And it's I suppose we're talking about individual brilliance, but thoughtful brilliance as well, thoughtful play, and it certainly was that.
Taking your man on, a lot to be said for it in towards midfield. O'Connell goes up to punch it. This one's going to be broken out towards James O'Mara for Ballysteen. Takes on O'Connell out on this far side of the field, down in front of us here. Now in the possession of Shane Hallinan, who Tommy Stack said was inside in the full forward line, but he's come out to get his hands on the ball here. O'Connell gives a kind of a flick trying to get the ball off, and the referee says it's a free. O'Connell doesn't seem too happy with the decision, and a chance once more for Ranahan to knock this over. Interesting point here before Mark takes this. All scores so far from Ballysteen from frees, the 2 points from Ballylanders from play. Could be interesting in the second half with the wind.
It could, but if you won by 20 points to 7 and you scored 20 frees, you'd be delighted. It's a sign that you're getting into the forward line as well. I mean, that was quite an awkward challenge, and I suppose Shane Hallen was kind of in the middle of making a decision would he hand pass it or kick past it, and if his 2 feet were on the ground I don't think it was a free, but the fact that he was off balance meant it was a free.
Ranahan kicks this one, but it's gone away just to the left and wide, and it just goes to show again that wind is definitely down into that left hand corner. So restart short from Declan O'Connor to Brian O'Connell. He's taken on 2 men already, making his way towards the halfway line. Hand pass down in front of Kieran Kelly with a point from play so far for the centre half forward. Ballysteen have turned this one over, and Patrick Moore on the charge. A little 1-2 back towards Moore. He'll go for this one for the point. Has he got enough on it? He hasn't got enough accuracy on it. It's gone to the right and wide. But 2 interesting chances in 2 minutes. Good turnover. A bit more pace to the game now since the water's been taken on.
Yeah, and it came from the centre forward for Ballylanders, not attacking the ball. Kieran Kelly, he waited for the ball, a hand in, a long break, and Packy Moore had a shot. He did not strike it well. I think if he struck that well, it would have curled back over the bar.
Owen O'Mahony for Ballylanders on the far side tries to kick past this one, which he does all the way down the wing to David McCarthy. McCarthy in towards Owen Walsh. Guess what? He's out in front of his man again. He's got it in his hand. Now we're moving for Ballylanders on towards Stephen Fox. Fox with the hand pass in towards Murphy. Murphy out in front, turns one way, turns another. The left foot of James Barry Murphy, as you like. 3 points apiece. So
I think of all the guys you can't afford to give room to, it's Jimmy Barry Murphy. He is brilliant. Left and right leg, how comfortable is that? We must remark when there's a bit of quality out there, and there's serious quality there. I know he was close to goal, but kicking it over the shoulder on the left leg, kicking over the shoulder on the right leg, he's well able to do it.
Well able as right as that. Shane Gallagher gets this one to restart Ballysteen. So they were 3-1 in front, last 2 scores for Ballylanders. Moran now out the far side. Slow build up again as Ballysteen make their way towards the halfway line. Coverage as always on Live 95, brought to you by Limerick Water Centre. Main hand the dealer on the Ballysteen Road, and Adair versus Galbally coming up this evening from Kilmallock. And the intake of breath on my right there from Tommy proves that Donald Kelly was under pressure there from Bill Casey. Casey still making his way through here for Ballysteen along the end line. Is he going to get a chance to get his hands free? Referee says he's not good defence there from Ballylanders. But again, that little ball over the one line and things open up.
Yeah, and I was just going to remark as well that Ballylanders tended to have kept a man in front of their full forward line and didn't necessarily have that line, but I suppose there's always a chance to pop it over that line down the wings as well. They'll be disappointed with that. Once again, it's just the basics, the basic kick passes, hand passes not working out for them, and you'd have to say Ballylanders are definitely playing better football, maybe not getting the end result, but they're definitely playing better football and look the better team at this stage.
Stephen Walsh making his way up towards the 40, now retreating as the ball is going into the hands once more of Owen Walsh. Walsh out in front, back towards Kieran Kelly. We could rename Owen Walsh out in front by the end of this game. He's having such a primary position there for his side into the corner towards Fruin and Barry Murphy. Barry Murphy has it in his hands down on the end line. A chance for 2 in a row, maybe 3 in a row. He's got the left boot out. He's going past his man. Referee has the hand out for a free. Worked his way towards goal, put the pressure on the defender, and from 3-1 down, they could go 4-3 up.
Jimmy Barry wins those frees. You know, he's not the tallest guy out there. Let's not beat around the bush. So he's got a way of kind of ducking under tackles and making that hand right up high, and it's contact on the head, and it's an obvious free. He's worked hard at it over the years. He's perfected how he does it, and it's part of the game. But what I do think that Ballylanders have changed is that Fruin and Jimmy Barry have stayed in the full forward line, but they're much more dynamic within that as well. And we're also looking at lads who are trying to kick the ball in early to them. They're not, going over and back as much as possible. Any opportunity they can to kick it in is better for them as well, because you don't want them facing a clutter defence, and especially a clutter defence in that full back line.
James Barry Murphy has 2 points in a row. The boots are on, the socks are on, the underarmor's on, the long sleeve underarmor's on, the gloves are on. So the only thing exposed to the elements today is the head. What a hit for football this man has. So left foot off the hand, straight over the black spot. 4 points to 3 in a row for Barry Murphy. It's now Ballylanders 4, Ballysteen 3.
Yeah, big onus on the keepers here, like kickouts. An awful lot of kickouts have gone short. We've had 2 clean marks already in the first half, and you'd love to see midfielders really dominating, getting up, taking clean possession, and putting a good platform in place for their team.
3 for Mark Ranahan from the base. James Barry Murphy now with 3, and Kieran Kelly, the point that's there, the difference at the moment. Ballyland is 4 points to 3 in front. In midfield with Shane Gallagher for Ballysteen, out towards Matt O'Mara. Matt O'Mara has to go backwards, so turns back towards Patrick Moran. Now with Gallagher, he's looking to make his way up the field, goes past Mark O'Connell very well. Looks like he was pushed to the ground there, and the Ballylanders sideline in front of us not happy with that one, but it's a free. And I'm sure Shane Gallagher has it in his hand, but Mark Ranahan's going to make his way out and attempt to kick this one over the bar to level the sides with 6 minutes to go to half time.
Yeah, just outside the 45, about 47-48 yards out on a slight angle. Shane Gallagher ain't no spring chicken, but he sure isn't showing it the way he plays. He's got to play that role in front of the full back line. He's still involved in bringing the ball up the field as well. Long may it continue. Go on the old guys.
Absolutely, go on the old guys. What a soccer player he was too, or is. So off the deck, Ranahan, 3 so far. That's like 1 miss. And he's kicking it down towards the left-hand side of this Newcastle West ground as we look at it. He's given it enough out to the right, but will the wind bring it in? It won't bring it in to the right and wide. That's 2 he's missed to that side. Could be vital as we go through this game. Just a reminder, Ballylanders 1 point in front, 4 points to 3.
Yeah, kick-out situation again. He's gone short the last twice. Long here, didn't work out well for them as well. So I think that zonal system that Ballysteen are operating is definitely having a good impact, at least on the longer kick-outs.
Yeah, it was Bill O'Mara winning that one for Ballysteen. Back towards James O'Mara, now into midfield towards Killian Ferris. Now bringing a lot of numbers through as Ferris gets the lucky bounce back on that under pressure from Donald Kelly. Referee has the hand out, and it's going to be a free in, and I'm sure Mark Ranahan, although he looked to take the quick one, is going to take his time over this one. And with just under 5 minutes to go to half time, he's looking to level the sides up. Yeah,
and once again it came from a not great work kick out as well from Ballylanders, but when Killian Ferris got the ball, I think he was quite lucky to win the free afterwards. He played a very, very poor hand pass, and it was lucky it ended up back in his own hands again. He was fouled. Genuine opportunity here. He's got to start taking these opportunities. I think the last one was maybe just a bit outside his range, and he seemed to change his technique slightly.
He's kicked this one and he has put it over, which is taking his time for the umpire to make his way towards the white flag, but the sides are level once more. 4 minutes to go, 4 points apiece.
Yeah, and he looked more comfortable on that strike as well. So we're looking at the kick-out situation here. Looks like everybody's marked up, so they should not get a short kick-out away.
As we say, 4 minutes to go to half time.
And there's the short kick-out.
Yeah, there's the short kick-out. Well, I suppose any man's going to win the ball like that. It's Stephen Walsh back now with Ballylanders once more with Stephen Fox. Slowly up at the field, has Sean Maloney in front of him and doesn't give it to him instead. Looks for Kelly. Kelly out this near side. Hand pass back inside once more towards Sean Maloney. Back out towards Stephen Fox. So the two of them on little 1-2s. All the black jerseys of Ballysteen pouring back towards their own goal. As Donald Kelly has made his vote from the goal once more, and now Stephen Walsh. So we're seeing Stephen Walsh further up the field as this game is going on. No better man, of course, with an engine on him. I don't know if you want to quantify him as one of the old fellas there, but I'll leave that to you, Tommy.
I think I'd be careful on that one.
Be careful on that one. He might hear us. Here comes Killian Mead, the bright spark of this Ballylanders attack out towards Walsh. I was just saying that Stephen Walsh was making his way up from goal. He's right over on the far corner on the end line. Referee has penalised him for overcarrying, and now he has to put the head down and jog the full length of the pitch.
I was just going to say, that'll test if he's an old man or not. You're 3 and you commit an overcarrying offence right on the opposite end line, and there you've got to work all the way back again, and you've probably got to tackle back on the way as well. But it's good to see Ballylanders have their defensive sorted out already, and Stephen Fox is operating as a spearman just in front of the full back line.
3 minutes to go towards half time. Referee giving the advantage there to Bill Casey as he was making his way out. So vital time here. They call these the championship minutes before and after half time in these big games. And Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final doesn't come any bigger than this. Full-back Kevin McMahon on the ball now for Ballysteen, taking his time, has an option on this near side which he takes, which is Matt O'Mara. O'Mara really slowing down the game on this left-hand side, and we're looking for some kind of structure to this attacker Ballysteen as it's in the hands of Jason Daly. Daly now plays a quick 1-2. Killian Ferris seems to be the outrunner from the half-back line in towards Dara Ranahan. Again, both defences on top in this game, as you'd imagine, from 4 points apiece. Ballysteen still trying to find their way through in the corner there. It's Mark Ranahan's kick pass that's blocked down by the leg of Mark O'Connell. He's asking the referee why how was he allowed to block him there as Patrick Moore under pressure falls over, and the referee says it's a free, much to the annoyance of the Ballylanders bench down here to our left hand side. But a free is a free, and with 2 minutes to go, it's vital that one of these teams looks and keeps playing to get that early lead with the lead going into half time with the win the way it is.
You'd have to say the slickness is definitely more with Ballylanders. Ballysteen are quite slow, laborious in their build-up, and there's a lot of errors, handling errors, stuff not being precise, which makes a big difference to the next man who gets the ball as well. It's hard to kind of clear it up sometimes. There's a bit of nerves involved as well. They're a quality team, but they're not really showing it as I thought they might be.
Well, 4 points apiece here, trying to take this one on is James O'Mara on towards Ferris. Ferris has a chance off the right boot. He's kicked it. He's under pressure though, and it's gone to the right and wide, and the Ballylanders bench applauded. 4 points apiece. Just a minute to go.
And you want to, both teams are really keeping the middle very, very tight and not letting get any opportunities. The 2 shots that they recently took there were from the centre back, Patrick Moran, and Killian Ferris, number 5, and they both took the shots under pressure. And I suppose that the impact there for Ballylanders is that they've managed to get a lot of numbers around the ball as well.
Yeah, John O'Halloran from Brewery just informing us there how much time is left in this half. Always hard to keep an eye on the time with water breaks and all that kind of carry on as the kick out comes from Declan O'Connor in towards midfield. Almost picked off there by Mark O'Connell. Dispossessed, and it's in the hands of Moore. Moore back to Gallagher now for Ballysteen. Out the far side, still trying to take this one on is Jamie O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan in towards the willing and able Bill Casey. Casey with the hand pass. Intercepted as he was going for it, but they've managed to get possession back and trying to make his way through with 2 minutes of additional time to be played. He's at number 23, of course, is William O'Mara there for Ballysteen. I see him up in the middle of the field there, so substitute for them. O'Mara hand pass back out the far side, trying to make their way through this Ballylanders defence. Centre half forward, Dara Ranahan, away out on the right hand side, kick pass in towards Bill Casey. Over and back they're playing nice and soft pace on this one. Patrick Moore on towards Ferris. Ferris normally likes to drop the right shoulder. Now 2 defenders coming towards him. He comes out this side and gets the hand pass back, or tried to get the hand pass back from Matt O'Mara, but dispossessed and into the hands now of Mark O'Connell. O'Connell on the attack for Ballylanders. Guess who he's looking for? It's Owen Walsh. Guess what? He's in front of his man. Takes him on. Here comes Owen Walsh. Hand pass inside towards Fruin. Fruin now a little bit more pace on this attack from Ballylanders. Fruin tries to take on his man with his left boot. Back out this side towards Stephen Fox. Fox under pressure. Back to Fruin. Has Fruin kicked this over off the post and back out, and referee says he was playing an advantage. And a chance for Brian Murphy's left foot to put Ballylanders into the lead, 4 points apiece.
It was a nice attack, really nice and slick. And once again, we're bigging up Kieran Kelly, but he's certainly given them a great platform, particularly when it's breakout ball. When they've turned over the ball, they can go quickly. He allows those 1-2s to happen. Stephen Fox certainly very much involved as well, getting up and down the field. Great engine, and he's a fella too that's not, he's not in the 20s or early 30s either for that matter, but he's still making it happen out there.
So, James Barry Murphy, the captain of Ballylanders, with this free. He's kicked it. It hasn't exactly gone off the middle of the boot, but it has gone over the bar, and just on half time, it's James Murphy's 5 points to 4 they lead.
And let's bring it up now, Danny Neville. They look like they could do with a bit of calm, a bit of quality out there at the moment. Ballysteen certainly don't have that quality as from what we've seen so far. I'm looking at the likes of James O'Malley. He's a great player, but he's just found it very, very difficult in the first half. They've been dominated, I would say, almost everywhere in the field, but yet still they only win a point down. And that's it. They're playing with the wind. That has had a bit of an impact. I won't say a serious impact, but a bit of an impact as well.
Well, Ballylanders 5 points to 4 in front here in Newcastle West in this first of the Irish Wire Products Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final. It couldn't be tighter. 1 point in it. More first half analysis after this short commercial break.
Just look up the old ladies football there. Are we off now? We are.
We're off that one. 1 second now.
as well, but that's a sign of you getting into the attacking area and being a danger inside there as well. So they've definitely tidied up how they're dealing with the ball themselves, and I think they're making life quite difficult for Ballysteen overall when it comes to overall play. They're getting a hand in there, and they're getting them better of them in the close contact stakes around the middle third there as well. From a Ballysteen point of view, I can't remember a ball that they've kicked into their full forward line. They've kicked a couple of balls over the top to runners, but they haven't necessarily kicked the ball into the full forward line. And what are you doing there? You're allowing the defence to play in a way that they've defended, so they're comfortable defending from outside, whereas you have to kick the ball in every now and then to change where that spare defender, where that sweeper is going to lie, or where the whole team as a unit are going to defend as well. And I think that's something that they'll be disappointed with, particularly with the wind. They've had Shane Hallen inside there, they've had Rannan inside there, and to be honest, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I know that maybe they're looking for a bit more positivity. The positivity is coming from the frees. He's kicked, 4 out of 5 frees, 4 out of 6 frees. That's a positive, and the fact that they have gotten those frees from scoreable positions as well, but they haven't got into those scoreable positions. They haven't got into the danger areas enough. And it's down to their own lack of execution of just basic skills, but also maybe not varying how they're playing the game as well.
Yeah, it certainly is that way. Only 1 point in between them, as I say. Mark Rannan with 4 points from frees. It's James Barry Murphy with 4, 1 from play, and Kieran Kelly with 1 from play, which has Ballylanders in a 1 point lead. And after this short commercial break, we'll have more first half analysis and full live commentary with the second half of the Senior Football Championship semi-finals. Talk to you then.
Ladies football intermediate final.
Oh yeah, shout that out there when we come back. We're back now. Once we're back now, we're live the whole way through. So okay. Shout. You thinking of going back coaching? I know we were talking. You were saying you were taking a break.
No, I don't think so. Not this year anyway, or next year for that matter.
Take too long.
The batteries need to be recharged.
Yeah.
We'll go back playing.
Will you?
No. No.
The most important thing to remember is coaching is a man. Training is only an hour or 2 hours on the fellas. It's the coach, it's the phone call.
Griffin's on the final.
Huh?
Joe Griffin's on the final.
Okay.
Yeah. 115 to 12 points. And one lane. Bet.
Mount Collins.
Mount Collins. He was the 210 to 110.
So the final is?
Joe Griffin's in one lane.
No, one lane are staying up.
Alright, that was the relegation.
Yeah.
Who are they playing in the final? Or is that game played?
That's on Tuesday night. It's Clon and Fines.
Right, here we go. So we've got Shane Gallagher in midfield. And we'll throw in at least
19,
I'd say
19.
Jamie O'Sullivan's after this.
Sean Whelan and son.
classic heads.
Yes.
Kelly.
No.
Normally it's a Harvey Norman edge and then a sting for the radio station in Limerick.
A sting?
A sting is the like flash of, coming up tomorrow or the Limerick Senior Football Championship, that kind of stuff. The music in the background is a bed. Still going. Free that.
Interesting for you to the win now.
After the year,
We are still, yeah.
have to watch smashed it. It's great if he's in commentary.
Well,
you don't have to remember who scored.
hopefully we're getting them right anyway, John. It's half our battle. Player IDs, number 1. 90 seconds in now. Snapped it.
Striking him great. There's a huge variation, and he's striking some brilliantly. And then when you're not striking them well, you nearly overcompensate.
He does a stutter kick when he's cleaning. From further out, he does a stutter kick, and then when he's doing an angle, he seems to come at it differently. He doesn't have the same technique for all the kicks.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be one of the best. He wouldn't be one of the better free takers.
No. They need a bit of bite now, don't they, Ballysteen?
Don't you feel it's just like Ballylanders should be a good bit more here.
It should be.
Oh, here we go. After this one, this is the sting. Good afternoon, welcome back to Newcastle West. It's Ballylanders versus Ballysteen. Referee John O'Halloran was in a rush to get back. He must be going for dinner in Tommy Stack's house after this one. We're 2 minutes into the second half here, and you have not missed a thing because Mark Ranahan has just knocked over his 5th point of the day. His 5th free of the day. The sides are level once more, 5 points apiece. Tommy, we didn't miss anything, but it's level again.
Yeah, and it was a nice move at the field. James O'Mara was heavily involved there. Got a nice touch in it forward to, I think it was Shane Hallinan who got fouled, and it was an easy free then for Dara Rannan. Big mistake there in the full back line.
Yeah, big mistake by the goalkeeper from Ballysteen. Kicked it straight out towards Brian O'Carroll. Carroll knocks it over. 2nd point from play of the day for Ballylanders, and it's 33 minutes gone, 6 points to 5.
I really don't know what I was thinking there. That didn't look like it was on at all. I mean, you can't have a situation where you're kicking the ball over numbers, and there was a lot of numbers. I think he was trying to kick it clearly out to the wing to maybe a guy who'd rushed out there, but wasn't executed well anyway, and that's a poor score to give away.
Yeah, poor score is right, but Ballysteen on the charge here, playing into a slight wind. If the flag is to be judged on the far side, Killian Ferris is not playing into any kind of a wind here as it's on towards Sean Whelan, wearing number 19 for Ballysteen out the far side. Ferris involved once more, trying to react to that score. 6 points to 5. The 1 point lead that was at half time has been restored. Now Gallagher on the ball for Ballysteen, has to go back to get it, taking his time, moving his way up the field. Gallagher, lovely little right footer, little strike into the corner towards Mark Ranahan. Ranahan scored all his frees, or points I should say, from frees so far. Back out towards Gallagher, working their way across the 40, now towards midfielder James O'Mara. There's the 1-2 to break the line, tries to go past his man. Brilliant tackling there by Kelly for Ballylanders, kicked out and cleared out the far side by Stephen Walsh. It's going to be a sideline ball on the far side towards Ballysteen.
It's kind of reminiscent of how Ballylanders faced a very tough first quarter of the game as well, so hopefully we don't have to wait until the water break for Ballysteen to make changes.
5 minutes gone here, as we mentioned. 6 points to 5. Point in front for the 2014 champions, looking to get back to their another final, chasing their 8th final if they were to win today. As mentioned earlier, Ballysteen all the way back in 1964, one final, one win for them, and it's Gallagher doing a 1-2, has 4 men around him. Gallagher still going, tries to step back inside, looked like overcarrying. It is overcarrying, referee O'Halloran calls it. He just needed that one more step to unleash. He couldn't get the ball down onto his right foot, as Kieran Kelly tries to win this one in the air for Ballylanders. Does very well, knocks it almost to himself, now chasing it back there and trying to put pressure on opposite number 11, which is Darrell Rannan. Out into the corner back here, Bill Casey, who's been playing wing back. Beaten to the ball there in the middle by Mark O'Connell. O'Connell trying to fight his way out through, reminiscent there of a young John Galvin with the long hair. Strong man trying to make his way out through midfield. Guess who's out in front of his man, Tommy Sack? It's Owen Walsh. Owen Walsh in towards Fruin in the corner. 6 points to 5 in front of Ballylanders. Fruin turns one way, turns another. High kick way off to the right hand side. Nearly hits the photographer out by the corner of the posts. Not what he would have wanted, but again, quicker to get the shots off, quicker to get the scores off.
And they want those one-on-ones for Fruin and for Jimmy Barry in that full forward line, and that's what they got there. A quick break, some poor play here from Ballysteen in the attacking point of view. I'll tell you something, Mark O'Connell is a beast of a man. He's getting through a lot of tackles, he's causing turnovers, and especially when, you know, Ballysteen mightn't be as on it as they should be, you know, that's going to cause difficulty all day long.
Yeah, substitute coming on for Ballysteen, and judging by my abysmal eyesight, and he's turning around, it looks like Mr. Neville. It is.
Yeah. Shane Halloran has gone off by the look of it as well.
Danny Neville didn't start the game due to an injured hand. He's inside on top of Donald Kelly now, so there's the ace up the sleeve from Ballysteen as this kick out comes from Conor Ranahan. Down on the far side there, the mark is secured. Yeah, brilliant catch there by Owen O'Mahony.
He's second today.
Those kickouts are so vital in tight games like this. 7 minutes gone in this second half. 6 points to 5. Ballylanders lead with the wind as well.
He's a lovely, lovely player. You know, he'd be a great, great club player on any team. He just has nice silky skills, can kick with left and right. He's got it over the head, and I told you he's not the tallest guy, but he certainly is an athletic man.
Yeah, he's after making a quick 1-2 on the right hand side. He's kicked this with his right foot. Looks to me anyway, and it is to the right and wide, second wide in a row.
I might have just cursed him, giving him all the praise, but I do like him as a player. Personally, I don't think he's a midfielder. I think he'd be a lovely 10 or 12 because he gets up and down the field very, very well. But I suppose you've got to do what's best for your team as well.
Yeah, Pats to the final, or Pats to the quarter, or semi-final I should say. Ballylanders beat Galtee Gales, lost to Ula, and of course beat Molineen in the quarter-finals, while Ballysteen, they drew with Broadford, lost to Newcastle West, and in the quarter-finals beat Father Casey's 14 points to 8. So high-scoring teams when they get going. I'm sure they will in the second half. 6 points to 5 it is. Mark taken in midfield by James O'Mara. Great fetches right now. Bill Casey. Popular in this second half so far for possession has been Casey on towards Killian Ferris. Now he likes to take his man on. He's gone left, heading across the 40. Tries to hand pass it back inside. Well tipped off too towards William O'Mara. O'Mara looking for an outlet ball on the far side, which he does towards Matt O'Mara, who started the game even though he's wearing number 18. Back inside now once more on the attack for Ballysteen is the aforementioned William O'Mara. Thought about throwing the boot at it, instead is just running straight through the brick wall, gets it off towards Gallagher, man off his shoulder if you want it, which he does. It's Ferris out this near side, one man over if they want to go for a shot. Ferris goes for it, but only into the hands of Declan O'Connor, who's under pressure on that far side but manages to clear.
He's done well there.
Done very well there as Ballylanders come out on the edge of the 40 with Kelly trying to kick this one long, which he does. Put everything into that, right down in towards Owen Walsh, who's out in front again of Kevin McMahon. Now Walsh facing his man, turns one way, turns another. Now got two markers, which is not what you want to see as a full forward when you're trying to win the ball. Goes all the way back towards the point scorer, Brian O'Connell, who looks to ship the knock there as Brian O'Connell, referee, blows the whistle. Physio on the way out. 6 points to 5. Still 1 point lead for Ballylanders.
I always find those sort of physical kind of incidents quite interesting, because if a player's going in with his head down and he's trying to take a low ball, it's very hard for the defender to do anything else than make contact because he's nearly running into you as well. I think the referee probably needs to look after the man who has the ball and who has the head down there. That possibly should have been a free in, but the referee would probably throw up the ball now. Yeah,
it will be interesting to see how he restarts this one. John O'Halloran having a chat with the linesman on the far side too.
But better flow about the game in the second half, I would say. It's nice to see a few long balls kicked in there by Ballylanders, and certainly with Danny Neville in the full forward line, they're definitely going to be looking at getting the ball in there early as well, because you don't want Danny getting the ball in a clutter. You want him getting the ball one-on-one. You want him to get the ball in good situations where he can kick the ball left and right, and you know he will too.
Yeah, there's 1 point between them. It's interesting that we've seen each line for Ballylanders: Killian Meade, Owen O'Mahony, Kieran Kelly, and obviously James Barry Murphy have started there. On the flip side for Ballysteen, the nature of the way they play, Shane Gallagher further back, Bill Casey coming up with the ball, James O'Mara in midfield, Darrell Ranahan getting on it, Mark Ranahan. Like, it's the type of game where one spark, one moment, one twist, one mistake, one green flag, and it blows the whole thing wide open.
Yeah, it can be a number of things. It can be like maybe where guys are not adhering to a team system, they maybe just fall asleep for a few seconds, or that individual brilliance. And let's hope it's the individual brilliance, because that's something that we really value in our game as well.
Yeah, Shane Gallagher restarting this one from Ballysteen. Hand pass inside towards Adam McGrath. McGrath comes across the 40, now towards halfway. Has the hand pass off this side towards Sean Whelan. Whelan, just about to turn his man, but slips. Now the ball in the hands of William O'Mara. O'Mara with the little foot pass in. Nice little ball is right. Now chasing away off the ball incident there. Referee gets the nod from the linesman. And it's a turnover ball. Soft turnover too from Ballysteen, and Ballylanders will come away with this.
I'll tell you something, I think Brian O'Connell from Ballylanders has done a great job there. He kind of lured in He lured in Sean Whelan into thinking there was some sort of a physical confrontation. Seemed to go down having given as much as he got. But, that's experience. That's what you got to do. And the referee's going to book Sean Whelan, Sean Whelan now, yeah.
Sean Whelan went into the book. Ryan O'Connell has taken off the Under Armour there, so
it's a shame as well, because that was a good attacking opportunity there, and they seem to have, maybe gotten past the glut as well, and they seem to have, make life a little bit more difficult for Ballylanders from a defensive point of view.
Yeah, linesman having a chat here as well, so referee O'Halloran making his way diagonally across the field, which is always a worry for both players, because anytime you see the ref jogging towards you, you've done something. Now he's having a word with O'Connell. So interesting one, Tommy, you think he may have called it?
Yeah, let's see how this works out now. Yeah, I tell you what, he's a very abrasive character. He gets around the field well, and he's not afraid to put his weight on a challenge. And players like that in your team, you really value them as well, because they make life difficult from, especially in that middle third as well, and he gets his body to where the ball is.
So interesting, when we had an off-the-ball altercation with 2 yellow cards and still a free to Ballylanders. So yeah, away you go, make that one up as you go along. Well, here we go, our ball underway once more, and into the hands of Kieran Kelly. Lovely striker, the ball in towards Fruin in the corner. Oh, he has it in his hands, and he's got Murphy inside if he wants it. Murphy has it. Could we have the first chance of a goal? Murphy goes to deck. Fruin taps it over. 7 points to 5 they lead. 2 in front for Ballylanders. And the minute the ball went in, you said it, there was trouble, and they got the score.
Best ball of the game so far has been played by Kieran Kelly into Danny Fruin. Danny Fruin got behind his man. Probably had the mark as well, because the ball was played from close to the 65. Quality ball in. Danny Fruin actually didn't go for the mark. He decided to play on, gave it to Jimmy Barry, who just had to turn back as well. But what a brilliant score that is. Great team score. Nice to see so many fellas, using their skills so well on the field.
Breaking ball down this far side for Ballysteen. It's William O'Mara back out towards Gallagher. Now 2 points behind. The momentum has certainly shifted towards Ballylanders. At one stage, Ballysteen were 3 points to 1 in front. Now midfielder making his way up the field there is James O'Mara. Referee gives the free in, and I'm sure Mark Ranahan, he was going to take the ball before, and now the referee has moved it on. So an even more kickable score for him. 7 points to 5. 13 minutes gone in this second half, and they should narrow the gap.
Should indeed. Interesting to see there. It's been a cracker of an intermediate ladies football final, full time. Drumbrod for 2-8, Mungret St Paul's 3-4. So a victory for Drumbrod by 1 point. It's great to see tight finals like that, and exciting. Great for my club as well.
I was just about to say another cup out for the sideboard out in Drumbrod.
It's good. Their senior football now. That's going to be a real challenge for them next year as well. And I know Mungret have they've really worked very hard as well throughout the year. So nice to see. Title going back to the club. Well deserved.
Yeah, congratulations to them. And as the referee's having a chat inside there, we'll remind you that Limerick Motor Centre brings the coverage to you on Live 95 of always, your main Honda dealer on the Ballysteen Road. And Tommy Stack is double jobbing today. He's on co-count duty in the second semi-final between the Dare and Galbally. Of course, all 4 teams looking to get to the LIT Gaelic grounds on October 4th in a county senior football final. So Dare and Galbally, that'll be another tight one, another interesting one too. Yeah, a hard fought game in Kilmarnock later on, Tommy.
Yeah, no doubt that both teams having played Wednesday night as well. It puts an interesting dynamic on it. I suppose that they're firm favourites, but Galbally have surprised so many times already this year and will continue to do so, I'm sure.
Yeah, the big one there is who did the recovery the best. And we're away here. Here comes Mark Ranahan already with 5 frees. Make that 6 as he knocks it over, and every single score has come from the boot of Mark Ranahan, and they've all been from place ball. 7 points to 6. 1 point in it still.
I think the significance of Mark Ranahan being the only scorer, it just, when I look at how the scoring has gone for them over the last 2 games, there really was a wide variety of scorers as well. I suppose Danny Neville has an awful lot to do with that as well, because he takes up so much focus for defenders. But the fact that there's only one scorer, it kind of shows that they're struggling a little bit more. They're relying on frees as well, and they'll have to definitely be a little bit more expansive if they're looking to spread the scores.
Yeah, Kieran Kelly did a 1-2 with Shane Walsh, and it's a great score as well. Kieran Kelly really coming into this game at centre half forward. His second point of the afternoon, 8 points to 6. Ballylanders need. Again, Walsh out in front.
I think 4 quick passes up the field from the kick out, 4 quick passes, and you've got Kieran Kelly, who's got a great right boot in him as well. He's made a few very telling, very few telling impacts on the game here.
Yeah, water break 2 as we stop the clock here at 15 minutes and 38 seconds. Referee decides this is the time to do it. Bit of a flashpoint down in front of us as well, so good for him to get everyone to cool down. We can cool down too. But as you mentioned, 6 frees for Mark Ranahan. you were saying earlier, it's not that's all they have. It's that they're putting pressure on the Ballylanders defence. They're getting those scores, but Ballylanders now getting scores a little bit more slicker. The Fruin score could have been a goal just there with Kieran Kelly's ball in, and the 1-2 with Walsh. The longer the game goes on with that kind of tempo, Ballylanders are in it. It's Ballysteen just need that moment. They need that one score from someone else.
They do, and the problem is that when the ball goes forward quickly for Ballylanders, they tend to have more room inside there. I think they've got more genuine ball winners inside there as well, fellas that can take on their man. Whereas you look at the other side, the build up is slower, and their Ballylanders defence they can get set, and they're making it very difficult for the Ranahans, the Nevilles to get free space. It seems like this is the trend. The last water break, Ballylanders definitely learned from it. I'm sure Shamie O'Donnell is over now and he's trying to come up with some sort of a game plan or trying to give the lads some sort of a game plan that they can work with. That'll help them out as well, because they are definitely being dictated to at the moment.
Yeah, just to mention why we have this water break, the hashtag Rise for Dahi Drive-In Bingo at Sterca Wallace. GA Ground starts at 4 today. The gates are open from 3. While of course the Rise for Dahi Golf Classic is on the Ballyneedy Golf Club on October 9th. More details on the Rise for Dahi Facebook page, and any help you can do there to get Dahi home would be appreciated by everyone in Limerick, and of course Limerick GA as well. And just looking down below us from the water break, both managers having a chat, but also you talk about leadership. The captain of Ballylanders, James Barry Murphy, in front of us down here, giving that chat to his players about they're just 15 minutes away now from another 20.
And it didn't look like there was anyone else not looking at him. They were all focused on Jimmy Barry. And I'll tell you something, the coach there, Niall Fitzgerald, a former Tipperary senior footballer as well, remember him well, he's a great player. He's a good job done. I mean, they had their ups and their downs in this championship so far, but they look very, very organised defensively and attacking wise. And what they're doing very well is that they're transitioning very well from turnovers, getting it up the field very, very quickly. And then you've got the 3 lads inside, the 4 lads inside who've got that little bit of an X factor and can get the scores as well. And we see a fella just jogging off towards us as well there, Kieran O'Callaghan. You know, he can certainly come on there and make a difference. He can kick a ball from 45, 50 yards, no problem whatsoever. And it could come down to that yet. 2 points is not the greatest lead to have, as we know. You'd much prefer to be 7 or 8 in a comfort zone where you could play the ball, you know, in front of the opposition and make them make the mistakes. Let's see what the next 5 or 10 minutes. I think the next 5 or 10 minutes are really going to decide if Ballysteen get back into this game or not.
Yeah, the momentum breaker that is the water break. We've seen it in so many games since COVID-19 came into our lives, and once more we're back on with referees. So 15 minutes and 40 seconds on before the water break. That's about halfway through this first senior football championship semi-final. Ball goes towards midfield. O'Connell goes up, breaks it down from Gallagher, and it's once more into the hands of Ballylanders. And it's Brian O'Connell now towards Fruin. Fruin still has the gorgeous luminous boots on. He's taking his man on this side, tries to go left and back out once more, trying to slowly rebuild it on this near side with Tom O'Dwyer wearing number 23. So he's made his way onto the field during that water break in towards Owen Walsh. Hand pass back inside towards Stephen Fox. Fox went for the striker. Referee playing an advantage as the ball drops on the 14-yard line. This will be as good as over the bar. And that's a big moment for Ballylanders there as the foul was on the man kicking.
Yeah, it's a difficult one too. He looked like was he going to, not going to. I think if he wasn't going to strike a ball, the contact would have been okay. But you have to, you know, make sure that your contact, when a man is shooting the ball, you have to make sure your contact is within the rules of the game. Stephen Fox again making a very telling impact there.
So James Barry Murphy coming into this game with 1-4 to his name. Already has 4 points. Kicks this one straight over, not a bother on him. Now the lead out to 9 points to 6. That's as big as we've seen. 3 points in front allows the cushion of that goal coming in too. 46 gone. A nice little break for Ballylanders.
No doubt, and I think they'll have one eye as well. I mean, I'm sure their focus would not necessarily have been on the final or Adair or anything like that, but Adair gave them a fair caning a couple of years ago in the final. I think they wouldn't mind seeing Adair in the final again. I think Ballylanders definitely, they do well in adversity situations, I think, and I've always seen that with them over the years.
Yeah, Jason Daly now needs to start the response for Ballysteen. They're drifting away in this game as dispossessed in midfield, and the kick on once more out front of home. Walsh has loads of room if he wants to take it on. It's almost like a 3-on-3 here. If he hand passes in towards Fruin, he has Fruin. Oh, sidesteps the goalkeeper Fruin into the back of the net for Ballylanders. 1-9 to 6 points. What a goal that was, and skill. It was like the Liverpool trio up front. Pass into the goal.
Well, I'd be more of the Blackburn Rovers Sheeran something like now, but I definitely agree with you. Danny Fruin has a lovely sidestep. And it came from, once again, very poor play out the field. I think Shane Gallagher's at fault there as well. A hand pass that didn't go to hand. There was some sort of confusion. 2 quick passes into our guy. And I think, to be honest, I think Owen Walsh is probably the best man on the field. I know he's not necessarily getting the scores, but he really is having a telling impact. How many times has he got on the ball? How many times has has he just done positive things for his team? Really up against it now, Ballysteen.
Ballysteen's certainly up against it. Man leading the charge is Darragh Ranahan. Hand pass off here towards John O'Shaughnessy. He's still going forward. Referee has the handoff for an advantage. Can't get the shot off. They need a goal and they need a quick 1-9 to 6 points they trail. And one thing you can do is go straight back up the other end of the field and have a go. So Mark Ranahan already has the ball down on the ground looking to take this one. A goal was always going to blow this game open, Tommy, and it certainly has.
Yeah, and it was a quality goal. I mean, you look at the slickness of it, and that's where you're transitioning. You're getting your turnover, and you're going really, really quick up the field. And ball over the bar, and he was on his right leg as well. It's going to be a very, very difficult kick. So he had passed the ball to the back post where there were two Ballysteen men. In some cases, he would have been better off with one Ballysteen man there because he would have taken control. There was a small bit of maybe just a lack of clarity in what they wanted to do. Of course, Danny Neville, I would have loved if he could pass it to himself at the back post because he probably would have finished as well, but that's probably not something that he could have done.
It's true. By location, not up for him yet. Just looking down away to our right hand side, an injury in the edge of the square is taking the momentum out of this Ballysteen comeback. 1-9, that's 12 to 7 points. Coverage as always on Live 95, brought to you by Limerick Motor Centre, your main Highland dealer on the Ballysimon Road. Coming up at 5 o'clock this evening there versus Galbally from Kilmallock, with a place in the October 4 final on the cards. Now down in front of us here is number 17 for Ballylanders, that's Jason Lee. Featured already in the championship for his side, he's coming on. Just getting the gloves ready. Still an injury away to our right. Referee pausing things as we wait. 21 minutes on the clock, so I'll stop the clock too to give us some idea of what's left to be about 10 minutes of normal time.
Yeah, what I like about what Ballylanders are doing is that they're still getting numbers behind the ball, but they're keeping their three big men that they have on the moment. At the moment, they're big forwards up the field, and noticeably, Owen Walsh is there at the top of the D, and he seems to be able to make those lateral runs left and right. I mean, we're talking about him all the game, but he has had a serious impact on the game, and what he can do and how he can link with the lads inside as well is very, very important. This break in play is probably no harm for Ballylanders as well. It's just slowing things down, taking the impetus away from the last 2 or 3 attacks. The scores, that's something that they will see that they can do as well. But you'd have to say overall, Ballyland pass point of view, Ballysteen, and they look back and they'll say whatever happens today, they look at the video and go, it wasn't good enough overall.
Yeah, it's Stephen Fox that's coming off, and not under his own weight, of course, which would be a worry if they do make it through to the final on the 4th of October. It seems to have been replaced by Jason Lee, so getting their round of applause too from the 200 spectators who were so thankful, I'm sure, like ourselves, to come in and watch a game of football on Sunday. Such simple pleasures taken away from all of us back in March. We're getting back slowly. So Mark Ranahan with this 45, all the scores from place balls for him as he eked it away to the left hand side. It's dropping just left, unfortunately for him, another wide. But again, 1-9 Ballylanders, 7 points to Ballysteen. Very much needed this primary possession from this kick out.
Yeah, and then how you see how Ballylanders are spreading the field now at the moment. They're making it very, very wide. I presume they're going to have some sort of a call that's going to get to the ball out to numbers at least at some stage to give them a better opportunity for a clean win or at least a break.
Yeah, it's O'Mahony trying to win this one in the air. Brilliantly taken by Shane Gallagher. Tries the kick pass inside, which he does, into the hands of Ferris. Ferris operating further up the field now in the second half, in the first, on towards James O'Mara. Tries to kick it into the corner towards Danny Neville, but drops shorts into the hand of Donald Kelly. Out the far side with Tom O'Dwyer now for Ballylanders. Dinks it past his man, goes on the run. Will he beat Gallagher to it? He doesn't. The two of them meet 50-50 and the ball ends up. And what a pick up that is from Kieran Kelly on the far side. The jab lift, don't see it too often.
Good to see.
Yeah, O'Dwyer seems to come off the second best from that shoulder with Shane Gallagher, and he wouldn't be the first man to come off worse from the shoulder with Shane Gallagher. Hopefully he's okay.
I think the two legs might have tangled actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it was an ankle injury that he had. Yeah, but it is lovely to see that jab lift. It's even nicer when you have a fellow who's going straight through goals, just pops it up and he's got that nice bit of room in front of him. Never had it in my life, but I have seen it a few times.
Yeah. Oh, we've all seen it. We've all seen someone else do it on the pitch, unfortunately not in my locker. But linesman on the far side waving his flag, physio on the way down. It is Tom Dwyer that's down after that challenge.
Trouble, I think.
Yeah, very much so, and that's a second injury for Ballylanders.
And then just back to that injury on Stephen Fox, if it is such a thing that they make it to the final, what a loss he would be. I know the final isn't tomorrow, and you'd hope that a bit of recovery time would help him well, but he's such a key player. I think he's a leader. He's not just a good footballer, he's a leader, and he's able to get the instructions out there, very much involved in both the attacking and defensive side of things as well. So hopefully, I wish him the best, and hopefully things aren't too bad.
Yeah, fingers crossed he's okay. Get some treatment and recovery, stay off the foot. If it is his ankle that we saw him being lifted off. And on this near side, Ballysteen Bench looking to make one more change, and Ballylanders looking to see who they're going to replace Tom O'Dwyer with. And then number 23 is going to be replaced by number 24. That's Oisin Brown. So Oisin Brown for Ballylanders gets his instructions on the way over. Ballylanders managed by Niall Fitzgerald, as you mentioned earlier. Ballysteen by Shamie O'Donnell, alongside John Ferris, Martin Kelly, and Pa Ranahan.
And I'm sure Shamie and Niall Fitzgerald would have played against each other over the years as well. Remember having a few good battles against Tip over the years.
Yeah, Niall Fitz. So far side of the field, number 23, Tom O'Dwyer taken off, been replaced by Oisin Brown. He's unfortunately on the far side now. Restart there, number 7, Alan McGrath. It's Ballysteen with Bill Casey. So 1-9 to 7 points with 7 minutes to go. So Ballysteen need a goal here fairly quick if they're going to get back into this game. Right down into the very, very, very corner of Newcastle West is Danny Neville, and the linesman has his flag up to say the ball went out over the line. And he ran out of space, so did the ball. And Ballysteen might be running out of time.
Not a good ball though. I mean, when you consider that Danny was getting the ball in the corner and there was going to be 2 defenders on him as well, you have to think there should have been a better opportunity out there for them.
Oh, brilliant flick inside from O'Connell in towards Kieran Kelly, moving again, the right boot of Kieran Kelly. Up front, it's that man O'Callaghan, he's out in front. Can he turn one way? He does. He hand passes it back towards James Barry Murphy. Murphy off his left foot, worked himself in towards the angle. There it is, 1-10 to 7 points. Great score from Barry Murphy. And when you need a man to knock the ball over the bar, no better man.
Yeah, and a brilliant cross diagonal ball to Kieran O'Callaghan. Struggled to get there, but he did get there, popped the ball out to Jimmy Barry. And, he'd so much space, he could afford to just take a bounce, a hop, and sail past the defender and then kick it over the bar with his left leg.
Yeah, 1-10 now to 7 points. That's a 6-point lead. So Ballysteen with 5 minutes of regular time to play, to be a good bit, or 9. I was just about to say 9 minutes of additional time. As I was about to say, there will be plenty of it because of stoppages and injuries. So they have 9 minutes on top of what's left. So number 13 is Mark Ranahan, the man that's got all their scores. Dinks it into the corner for Danny Neville, who's making his way out. It's not a great ball again. It's putting him further away from goal, but he has it in his right boot. He's turned one man. He's coming in along the end line. Kelly under pressure. He's still going as Neville. Turning back inside. Pushed over. Referee says a free in. 6 points down. Do you have a lash at this one?
They've been lacking something like that the whole game. Someone who was able to, who had the skill and the kind of the way he lacked that. And I suppose, it's very unfortunate that Danny wasn't there from the start. I still think they go popping points if they have 9 minutes, if they could get it back to 2 scores again. But once again, every kick out becomes so important, and they have to make sure the short kick out isn't available for Ballylanders.
Mark Ranahan, 7 points so far. Could he make it 8 off the place ball? In fairness, the goalkeeper Declan O'Connor is thinking he's going for a goal. He's not. He just dinks it over. So an extra point for Mark Ranahan, another point for Ballysteen. 1-10, which is 13 to 8. And if the last couple of kick-outs were vital to win, this one is absolutely vital because it needs to break down that lead once more.
They have to force them to kick it long, and of course you've got problems within that as well because the keeper has an awful lot more room out there if everybody's covering inside.
A brilliant take from Owen O'Mahony.
The great player. Guess who? Yeah, got the ball in front of his man there. He's the man. Owen Walsh got a ball from Owen O'Mahony. What a field over the head as well. They seem to be controlling the play at the moment. Kick ball to the full forward line again. Jimmy Barry Murphy.
Barry Murphy out in front is an open mouth catch. Kieran Kelly into the pick up jab lift again in towards James Barry Murphy as Tommy Stack puts his hand up to be a commentator next week. I think I've eaten 4 flies now at this stage.
I know, lady.
1-10 to 8 points as it's out once more towards Killian Mead. Bit of flair from Killian Mead. Takes on his man once more inside the step. Tries to kick past it through, which he does towards Kieran Kelly. Has someone off his shoulder if he wants it. Kieran Kelly, this will put a knife in it. Here's the shot. Oh, over that bar. Brilliant score from Oisin.
Yeah.
Brown, another score for Ballylanders. 1-11 to 8 points.
Yeah, and Kieran Kelly's had a big impact here. I saw Mark O'Connell was off his shoulder as well. Really, really strong one right at the end of the game. An admirable player, Mark O'Connell, and he's flowing locks. Definitely he stands out there.
Absolutely does. It's Jason Daly, the cornerback for Ballysteen, working his way up towards midfield. Ballysteen. Oh, referee has seen an off the ball incident here as the pass was made.
Not sure, I was gone beyond the play as well.
Yeah, I think it's Jason Daly. We'll have a look
Patrick
at
Moore, I think.
It is. It's centre half back Patrick Moore. Bit of
If there wasn't
pushing and shoving.
there might be a red card coming, but it was Kieran Callan was chasing back, trying to turn over the ball, and I think after the ball was played, Patrick Moore there was some sort of a contact anyway. And once again, I didn't see it.
Yeah, Patrick Moore having a long conversation there with Brian O'Connell. Well, it's referee John O'Halloran. He's got to have the conversation with black card, so off he goes.
I'm not sure if a black card is suitable there, to be honest. I think it's a yellow or a red. I mean, was it a cynical foul? There was no... They were both out of the play, let's say.
Yeah, Callahan has put the ball down, and as the referee talks, and he kicks it on about 2 or 3 metres, so they're allowed to change the man. So Ballysteen 111 to 8 points now. Black card 2 coming up on 7 minutes left by my calculations. Very hard to work it out. The board went up very early with 9 minutes of additional time.
Kieran O'Connell's going to have a go at this.
Yeah, out of his hand, 50 yards out. By the time he finishes his run, he's about 47. My word, what a strike in the ball that is. 112 for 8 points.
And that's been his forte.
kick of a ball.
That's been, you know, when he played for Limerick, when he's playing for Ballylanders, that's been his forte. He just has the ability to get the ball, you know, 40, 50 yards accurately. And that's the thing, accurately. And he wouldn't kick the ball that far, but can they kick it accurately? And under the pressure too. It's a brilliant skill to have for a player, and the clubs are just delighted to have someone like that who can pop the ball over.
Oh, what an unbelievable kick that was. There's just that like a drive, and golf just kept going and going and going and over the bar. And
Not one of my drives. Not one of my drives.
Not one of mine either, I can tell you. Off to the left, mine would have gone. Declan Gearan on for Ballysteen. On for the black card. Now back out here with Sean Whelan. All the changes. Yeah, all the changes for Ballysteen haven't put a dent in it. It's 112, which is 15 points to 8. Need a goal is right on the attack on the far side for him. Still going. It's Ferris. Ferris, the able supplier of ball in towards Mark Ranaghan in this game. Referee John Halloran's going to call a Ballylanders man aside. Is he calling O'Callaghan aside? He is. The man who just kicked over that monster point. He's going into the book too. Yeah. So not on long. Got a big kick, and off he comes.
It was quite cynical, because if Kieran Ferris had broken that challenge there, he was through on goals, or at least through on some sort of a situation where a goal might have been on. He's been quite involved, Kieran Ferris. I mean, you'd have to big him up. I mean, we
Sharp ball towards Danny Neville. Shoots. Oh, what a save that is from Declan O'Connor as we were chatting. The ball is still inside in the small rectangle, and the referee says over carry. My word, talk about being switched on. We mentioned it for the short free the last time.
You like to see that though. You like to see that going quickly. I mean, Danny, it looked, from where I'm sitting here, it looked like it was going. The keeper, you know, he really did well to get a hand to that and broke it out to the side as well. Shane Gallagher got the ball, and he was very close to goals as well, but he really was crowded out very, very quickly, so they were really on the ball.
Yeah, concentration key there from the goalkeeper as Stephen Walsh has this in his hand, trying to work his way out. Big hit on Donald Kelly, but there's now 112 to 8 points in front, trying to bring the ball down the far side of the field for one more score. Clock already got into the red, but we're going to have 9 additional minutes, so it's up to the referee from here when he decides to call time on this. And will Ballylanders get back into the county final, beaten 2 years ago by Adair, as Tommy touched on. County champions in 2014, up into the sky goes to Jimmy Barry Murphy, cross ball, Ballysteen battling to the end here. Ball into the hands now of Alan McGrath. McGrath heading towards midfield, trying to juggle the ball. Looks like he was foul. Referee says no. Back in towards Mark Ranaghan, way out the field now, trying to become supplier as opposed to scorer. Tries to solo the ball. Pure fatigue and tiredness is all that is as it goes towards Sean Whelan. Ballysteen up the right hand side in towards Gallagher, out in front of his man. Gallagher turns one way, turns another, but the fist goes in from Sean Maloney. Still Gallagher, hand pass back out. Still Ballysteen need to get the ball in there. 112 to 8 points on the charge this time. For them is Alan McGrath. Quick turn this time. Nice little strike from John O'Shaughnessy over the bar. 2 for Ballysteen, 1.
And like you have to make sure to get those scores as well. Brings it back to 2 goals. It does seem a little bit implausible, but there is a chance. Ballylanders are getting so many men back as well, just in front of their goalkeeper. I think they're pretty sure they're not if they concede 2 goals, it's going to be it would be an awful result for them at this stage, because they've controlled the game so well.
Counting the Ballylanders men seem to replace anyone for O'Callaghan. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So on the far side of the field, linesman has the flag up pointing it down. Ballysteen ball. So still hoping it get 112 to 9 points. As we say, 2 goals in it. Kicked in towards the corner on the far side of the field, all the way out there. Second half substitute Danny Neville does the little jab lift. We were looking for 1, we've got 2. Still going past his man, still trying to make his way towards goal. Back out this towards Mark Ranaghan. Still 50-50 challenge. Brilliant crossfield ball from him towards Whelan. Whelan now for Ballysteen. Is he going for the point? He thinks it over the top. Oh, brilliant clearance inside by Declan O'Connor. Out towards Danny Neville. The goal, trying to just lob it in towards Gallagher. Gets his fist on it. Breaks out here. Is there a chance for sliding tackle? Ball on the deck. Out for a wide ball too. And Ballysteen's evening could be run at that. 112 to 9.
Yeah, it's a numbers issue. They're just not... You know, the keeper's done very well on 2 occasions right there, but it's a numbers issue, and Ballylanders are just getting enough numbers into the D, into their own box, to make life very, very difficult to get any clean shots away. One ball was played across there from the sideline to Danny Neville, And I'll tell you something, it was Stephen Walsh that got a touch in, and it had such a good impact because it sent Danny Neville way out to the corner flag, which had an impact on, just the fluidity of the move afterwards.
Kick out from Declan O'Connor, breaks over the head on the way back for it there. For Ballysteen is Declan Gear. All the way back towards their crossing the 40 with fullback Kevin McMahon. It'll be another year waiting for a county title. 1964, Ballysteen's last one and only one. Up the far side of the field is Matt O'Mara, who started the game even though he was wearing number 18, in towards Kevin McMahon, wearing number 3, way up the field towards James O'Mara. O'Mara bouncing through 2 would-be tacklers, now 3. Referee has the arm out, says, I'll take the advantage, thanks a million. And Branahan takes the ball out of his hands, tries to lob it in towards the edge of the square, and the Ballysteen afternoon is summed up with the ball that was meant to be lobbed in, goes to the right and wide. 112 to 9 points already. A good 6 minutes played of our additional time.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I don't know if Danny Neville is the one you'd want to have actually fetching that ball or trying to control that ball. You want to see him coming off someone's shoulder to have those shots at goal. I'd like to see maybe Gala maybe as the last man inside there, and he'll definitely contest that high ball that comes across.
Yeah, I'm just looking down here. Referee keeps looking at his watch. Not long left here. O'Mahony takes the mark from the free, or the kick out I should say, on the way over on the far side. Pat Holohan all the way up from cornerback out towards Owen Walsh, who's, guess what, in front of his man, now takes on his man. Owen Walsh coming in along the end line for Ballylanders. Hand pass back out towards Jimmy Barry Murphy. Turns away from goal, trying to get away from 3 markers and out onto the far side towards Jason Lee. Lee has all the time, goes back towards Jimmy Barry Murphy, but dispossessed. Barry Murphy trying to foul his man to slow down the Ballysteen transition. 112 to 9, so 6 points. It's one towards centre half forward. Dara Ranahan. Chasing past O'Mahony, and the arm is swung out. Red card coming up here, sure.
A red card, and this is frustration too. And it's really difficult because Owen O'Mahony committed such a cynical foul. All you want to do is get on with the play, and it looks like now that Ballysteen are going to be down a man just because of that frustration that inevitably comes when you've trained so hard and you get to the semi-final and maybe things aren't going your way and you want to get the ball in play as quick as you can as well.
Yeah. Referee actually doesn't make a call on that. He just decides to blow the final whistle and call a date. With 112 to 9 points is finished here. Ballylanders into the county senior football final, where they will await the winners of Adair and Galbally. And Tommy, a controversial end, we'll forget about it. 112 to 9 points, big winners, deserved winners into a county final, and you wouldn't like to be facing Ballylanders with the game to come this afternoon.
No, I watched them playing against Ula a couple of weeks ago, and they have come on leaps and bounds from an attacking point of view, from a defensive point of view. They're actually a very athletic team, they're a strong team, they're an abrasive team. The biggest point of change that was made in the game for me was the first water break. And obviously from a play point of view, that maybe isn't the correct thing to say, but they definitely came out with a better structure, a better framework, a better mentality when it came to the whole thing as well. There's kind of a bit of niggle out in the field now at the moment. The referee appears to have sorted it out, but they were 6 points better. They definitely were 6 points better when they got the big guys, the Fruins, the Kieran O'Callaghan's, the Jimmy Barrys, the Owen Walshes, the Kieran Kellys. When they got them in scoring positions, in space, that made the difference. And Ballysteen just couldn't react and couldn't be as present in a forward position and then be as present in a defensive position as well. I must also commend Owen O'Mahony. Thought he had a brilliant game. I think he got 4 balls over his head, took 4 marks, and was very involved in both the attacking and defensive side of it as well. Good game of football. They'll be tough to beat in the final. They would be really tough to beat in the final, and I have to give them a huge amount of credit because I say they have definitely turned it inside out. So well done to Niall Fitzgerald and his backroom team on a job well done.
Yeah, just quick 2 points before we go. Adair versus Galbally coming up at 5 o'clock. They'll be looking at the likes of, as we mentioned in commentary, Killian Meade, Owen O'Mahony, Kieran Kelly, the playmaker, and how do they stop Danny Froon and James Barry Murphy? Whoever gets to the final is going to have to watch that group of players that led this victory today.
Yeah, and both teams have very different styles. Adair will be able to probably work with them physically and athletically. Galbally have a much different style. They farm where they clutter up their centre area and they make attacks down the wings as well. Their 2 half forward lines working very well. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And maybe you'd like to see Adair there from the point of view that they like to get both teams that have a bit of history. But from just a purely point of a novel final, it would be lovely to see Galbally there. They haven't hit a final since 1997. And you know, there definitely is a desire there in Galbally for that to happen.
Well, it's all for them to decide later on at 5 o'clock in Kilmallock. Adair versus Gallipoli with Tommy and Mal Keaveney. For now, though, it's Ballylanders into their 8th Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final. Their last win came in 2014. And in 2018, as we mentioned, they were beaten by Adair. How they'd like another call at that one. Myself, Donald Sullivan in commentary. Thanks to Tommy Stack. He's on air again later on this evening from Kilmallock. For now, it's Ballylanders who were winners 112 to 9 points over Ballysteen into the county final October 4th. Up to Adair and Galway to join them now. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. No.
It was okay?